In this video, I interview George Olarte, who is the lead art director for Bakugan brand and design. In this video, you'll see a lot of awesome stuff about how he and his team created all the different packaging and branding for anything from the beginning of the reboot with Battle Planet all the way up to Generation 3. You get to see a lot of the influence on how all that worked, a lot of different prototype and mock designs of how all the different, packaging was created. It's a really awesome video, and I think you guys will all enjoy it. So with that, I'll give it over to George.
All right. Hey, I'm George Olarte. I'm the lead art director for Bakugan brand design, and what that means is all the cool stuff you see behind me, all the the packaging that you've seen in the last couple of years, logos and such. I do have a presentation I'd like to present to you. Before I start that, I want to thank you, Jesse, for inviting me over and having me talk. Like I said, nobody likes to hear me talk, so this is a great chance for me to just, stand on this soapbox and deliver.
Yeah, no problem. I am very excited to see what you have to say, because this is my first time doing like an interview like this, especially with someone who's pretty high up. You should have a lot of information that I think the community would really enjoy.
Yeah, no, I did this because I wanted to do it for the community and the fans, old fans and new fans, So I'm really excited to show you what I've been doing at Spin Master and what I've been doing for Bakugan, more importantly. So,
Heck yeah.
and then I have sound in here, so let me know if you hear the sound. So, one thing that at Bakugan and at Spin Master, I get asked to do some interesting things, and I'll lead off this presentation with something interesting that was asked for me in the lead up to the Gen 3 Bakugan is what you guys are calling it. So all right, yeah, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear.
All right. Two days later.
Yeah. On this corner we got MC Dragon, and over here we got Nilius the Bad. Let's get him. My name is Dragonoid. Hold up in the spot with my girls and boys, misfit, kismet, that we ready to rip. I don't know how you get better than this kid. And introducing Nilius, the villainous, all my badass is feeling this. Through facing the place, just killing this. If we don't win it fair, then we stealing this. Well, I don't care. I can't stand a whack and see. Step back for my special attack for your history. But what's the mystery? Is where my best will be. Won't stop to the top, there's a destiny. A rip card, rip guards, and flip odds. My wrist style with the wrist style and this style and this cow flip styles just for fun. Cause in my world, two heads are better than one.
Ooh, the spray paint was good.
Answer the call when the challenge is sold. Meet me outside on my Bakugan zone. You down, let's see who gets clown. And who gets the title in the Bakugan crown. We are Bakugan brawlers, that's how it began. And everybody screaming Bakugan stand. Came back and destroy you with new destroyer. The opening song was titled Joe Psycho Warrior. We made it, invaded Gundalian style. Mediterranean search when we hit that dial. And it was all a blur, going a minute a mile. We had to slow it all down just to make it worthwhile. Went back to Battle Planet with the ground was fertile. To go some new brawlers and some brand new style. To armor our lines with magic and science in defiance of all evil and the evil tyrants. Rise up, Geogan Rising, surprising. Evolving evolutions enlightening the lightning into lightning. Light up our legends when we're underground fighting, winning, losing. Get back up off your feet, there's no snoozing. Choosing to stand tall, not fall. Michael, tell me what we say.
That is incredible.
So yeah, I mean, I get asked weird stuff.
That was really well done. Did you write the rap?
I did.
That is incredible, dude. Some of those lines in there were really, really good.
I'll go into a little bit of explaining
Yeah.
about that a little bit. So, all right. Hey, everybody, introducing me. I want to introduce you to who I am. I'm George Olarte, and what I do here at Spin Master, and what I mean to Bakugan. I'm going to show you some of my work that I've done here through my years at Spin Master, and I'm going to take you through a look at Bakugan and how we created the look and feel from the start of Battle Planet to the current iteration of Exploding Balls and other things, simply titled Bakugan. So so we'll get into it. Introducing me, I'm George Olarte. Um, that kid you see there, he was into Robotech. He grew up on Run DMC, Rambo movies, Spielberg, all that stuff from the 80s, G.I. Joe. Name it, I grew up on that stuff. He-Man, ran my half. I'm a big anime kid, grew up on Akira and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
That old guy right there is currently the art director for Wheels and Action Team, leading projects like Bakugan, DC, and other things like PlayStation. And that old guy is also wondering when there's going to be a Robotech live action movie. He's also married to Lindsay, father to the Magnificent Soap, and alpha co-captain to a pack of 3 pets, Ringo, Valentino, and Luna. I used to have a hip hop group, hence the rapping. That's me a long time ago. There was a time I sat at crossroads deciding whether I should keep rapping or if I should, design and stuff. And so now that's my logo, and you can reach out to me if you need some design work.
Nice plug. That I don't know, man. Maybe you should go back to the music, dude. That was there were some pretty good bars in there.
It's funny. I'm a total student of hip hop. I grew up in it, and so any chance I get, whenever someone asks, hey, if you want to rap, I'm like, okay, are you ready? Because I'm gonna give you the real stuff, So that was really great for them to do. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It really set off how we were thinking about Bakugan. We wanted this little bit of an edge. We wanted to be, a little bit different from the past, definitely that was kind of like the vibe we wanted to set off.
I might be jumping a little forward, but is that where the graffiti comes into play?
I mean, a little bit, but it stems really from the Misfits being like this underground group of kids, and we wanted to come from that sort of space where they were kind of like, tagging or not tagging, but because that's bad, of course.
Yeah.
But but going out there and putting their name out there, wanting to be able to get that out there. So.
Gotcha.
So cool. I'm going to go into some of this is the part where I breathe. This is going to go into my portfolio and show you the stuff that I've done at Spin Master in the years I've been here. So
yes.
One of the first things I ever did at Spin Master, my first job, was the rebranding of Stratego. Have you ever played? I'm sure you played Stratego.
I played this when I was very young. It's actually one of my earliest memories with my first best friend. We would play this game. I don't know if it was this one specifically, but yes, we did play.
Well, you know what? We did look back because there's a bunch of iterations of this game now. So we did look back, and I was able to. We were looking at the I think it was one of the very original versions and really mimicking what it did there. So it was because there was no artwork for it, so we had to kind of take it and redo it and everything. So that was a lot of fun. And then also created the sci-fi version, and I was able to work with this kid named Flying Debris. He was this mech designer from, I don't know. It's funny. Back in the days, I would just go into DeviantArt and was like, "Who's the best mech designer?" And then I found this kid, and he was just amazing. It really gave me sort of this name at this guy knows something. He knows what mech designers and all this stuff is, and I didn't really know. I just went on DeviantArt and found him. But that was and then I was also worked on Zubal's Princess. If you don't know what Zubal's is, it's
I know what Zubal's are.
Balls that turn into things, right?
Yeah. It's the other version of Bakugan.
Yes, correct. And then so I was working on a princess version of this, a lot of pinks and purples. And then I worked on Monsters University Roller Scare, which is a ball that opens into something, So like it's like I was circling Bakugan, but not there yet. But I
Yeah.
love this project. It shows all. Yeah, I love those little heads peeking out from the
Yeah,
back
I was
there.
about to say the packaging for that's very fun looking.
And it's Monsters University. You can't
Yeah.
go wrong with that. And then I was one of the first guys. This was Paw Patrol is year zero. I was the first guy to brand it, develop it, develop the whole line look and everything. It's funny when it dropped on my lap. I had no idea how big
Right.
this was gonna be. It was just like, and we really wanted it to be big. And when we watched this show and everything, it was just, I was like, oh, this show is like entertaining, even for me. I'm sitting here, I'm like
Yeah.
enjoying it. It's great to see this just blow up, and I could say like I was the first guy that designed all that stuff, all that look that and feel. I was there. So
Yeah, those look
uh,
good. Now you got a movie
uh,
coming out for it, I think, right?
yeah,
I
a
think
new movie. Yeah.
they announced one.
hmm Mighty movie. The first movie did great. This next movie is just gonna blow it out the charts. So really excited about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice. Thanks for the plug there. Really like that. And then I worked on our engineering brand, Meccano maker system. So you could create different vehicles, different robots, and different things like that. So it was a really cool system to create things.
Yeah, those are
And then
good.
I also created a real cute little robot named Boxer. Hey, Boxer. And interesting thing about this packaging is we had developed everything, brand new look within a month and a week or a couple weeks. So that was
Really?
like, yeah, that was like some interesting work. But it was really fun to kind of get it and really jam.
Oh yeah.
So did DC Universe. I did a lot in the last year, even during the pandemic, was
Hmm.
squeezing all this stuff to. I don't know. It just seemed like we were just trying to
Yeah, I was gonna
churn out
say
all the
like
stuff.
a lot of this stuff. Like I'll be walking down like the aisle in Walmart or Target, and I'm like, I recognize some of this. So now I can walk down like, oh, George did that.
Yeah, you can tell anything wheels in action. I'm usually probably the guy who
Yeah.
touched it or saw it. Even from Black Adam, you could tell like we had no art for Black Adam too, so we were suggesting, hey, the packaging all the way to the left, we were like, with the help of a designer, Jonathan Weissman, we were like, hey, this is maybe what you guys should do, and you could tell like they're like, oh, it really we really like could set the standard and stuff for what they achieve.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, and then also develop our own IPs, our own brands. This is Million Warriors, one of our own IPs. Show you how we create those illustrations. It's fun. This is a dream. I love this Sons of Anarchy photo where they're all fighting, and I was like, I wanted something similar with our illustration. That perfectly. Look at this perfectly rendered sketch, but I could always hand it off to a even better person than me, right? Someone who's got better
Yeah.
skills, and they could take it to another level, and eventually we have a great final art illustration. So that's a little bit of like a 1, 2, 3 a process of how how we could develop this art,
It's
and
like storyboarding.
yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah.
like as long as you have some great ideas, and some just real quick sketches, you can get by through and get through a lot. So, all right, that leads us up to Bakugan. As art director for Bakugan brand design and Spin Master, I played a pivotal role in leading Bakugan to become the #1 toy battling brand in 2023. That's in the first quarter. So really great to kind of do that and be the face of that, right? So
I'm
um,
ready.
really hyped.
Real
So
hype.
5 year, 5 years strong. We're numero uno, like I said. We started with Battle Planet, Armored Alliance, Geogan Rising, Evolutions, and then Legends. And working with the team, we didn't create the first Battle Planet logo that was given to us from I forgot who it was, another design agency. So when you came in, the logos had to have been already created from
Hmm.
another agency. So having to take the Battle Planet and also throughout the years, add Armored Alliance, add Geogan Rising, and feel like it's evolving or evolving each time was a little bit of a challenge, but something that we wanted to show in the logo. So you definitely see from Battle Planet all the way to Legends that there's like this step up happening,
Oh yeah.
And even with packaging, we were always like, we just love to elevate the package every year. People thought we were crazy. Like, you guys are doing another refresh, this year, and we're like, yes, it has to coincide with the show. It needs to do this. So, and having the packaging be like fresh looking on shelf was like something we really wanted to do. In the spirit of battling and brawling, we put up our opposition, as they would say, and just like say, okay, these are the guys we want to take down, and that's something that I instilled in my designers and team. Like, hey, let's brawl, like let's get really into the sense of it, and take on these people head on, and you could tell by the work, it's really elevated. So this was for some of our sketches from year one of that Battle Planet.
Those are cool.
Yeah, see, these are sort of packaging concepts. At the time, I was looking at this style called, I forgot. It's called Vapor. The first iteration was called Vaporware, but I think it's kind of like this neon sort of 80s look. But I was looking at sort of that look and that feel of those colors, and kind of like saying, hey, is there anything here that we could use for Bakugan, this new brand? And so we took those sketches and took them to another level. These are called the blue line sketches. And basically that just takes those little goofy sketches I showed you and elevate a little bit more. So we're getting a little closer on what that final packaging is.
I like number 5, surprisingly.
You know what is funny? When we were getting down to it, it was down to 2 and 5, I believe.
Yeah, I could see it. 5's good because it has like the hexagonal shape for the cores.
No, and there was a last minute like move where we changed we had everything as a hexagon shape. So it was lining up with this packaging you see here for the final packaging, but we had one that was a hexagon shape.
Yeah.
And but like having, then all of a sudden it was like all kinds of hexagon shapes at the time, and they were they were having a hard time dealing with this shape. It just doesn't seem like it just seems analogous, or it could just be whatever it is, but the hex felt like we had to kind of grow it in a certain way, so we kind of walked away from it. But yeah, so this was the first iteration of Battle Planet. One of the coolest things was working with our CEO. He's very hands-on, and that's what's great about Spin Master is like you get to work with people who lead from the front, and not just like tell you like, hey, do this. I mean, this guy, he got in there and was like, you take the packaging, and he's like, have the ball here, have like everything here, and then I came with my phone and all right, took a picture. All right, we're gonna get it exactly where you want it, and we did, and most of the times it's perfect. It's right. It's like his name is Ben. We call him Benny, but most of the times he's right, and it's just that it's like that sort of mind of the toy maker, the toy inventor, and he's got it. So kudos to him and being able to lead us. So it's more packages in the line. That was Battle Planet. Oh, you know what? I mistake. I didn't write Armored Alliance for that. It's supposed to say Armored Alliance.
I'll
year
edit
2.
it in.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, these were for the first sketches for Armored Alliance. As you can see, we moved it on to more finalized blue line sketch. You can tell that hexagon packaging is still kind of making its rounds. But over here, there was a request like, could something happen with the Bakugan, that's different in the packaging. So that's why you see a lot of these options where like they open and all of a sudden the Bakugan opens.
Oh, and they roll out. Okay,
yeah,
I get what you mean.
Or some of them, there's some packages where when you open them, it like that, like I think it's that bottom right corner that it's kind of shows them closed, but when you open it, it's open. So there's like these little things we're trying to do that show transformation in package, without transforming it. With that that top one is like the holy grail, right? It's like
Yeah,
we'd love to see it happen, but how would you reset it, right? So that's a problem with packages like that. With
that
transformation
would
is
be difficult.
how do you reset it? So I think everyone was liking that top right package, which is
Hmm.
this version
Yeah.
here. Armor Alliance, is the whole aesthetic was the armor kind of covering over the package. I love that uh, so the starter package. We had the blue version have that. It had that kind of come over that package that came over that flap, but we had to reduce that. I think it was getting caught and some other things like that. So, all right. So year three, uh, our brainstorm sketches started getting like wasn't getting a lot of brainstorm sketches. I think this was during the pandemic, so it was like in the middle of the pandemic, and we're getting a lot of sketches, but we're able to maintain some of those, get enough to come up with some really cool blue line sketches that we liked. As you can tell here, I love that. I love number 5 Breaking Good, where it had this like crack in this package.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't know how we were gonna execute it, but I love the I love the idea of the crack in the package,
Hmm.
and it was that I think it was the idea that the Geogans were rising up from some sort of crack of something,
Yeah.
rising through something. Um, so I think we ended up going with number 4. Um,
Hmm.
so and then we love the way that the box kind of came around it and all the graphics we could put around it on top of it. So that was kind of a cool shape. And then we also liked how it started kind of helping Cubbo become like it's more of its own little person or own sub brand, right?
Right.
Especially when we got to the big faces. That now this was actually some of my own concepts. Like you can see the ones on the left; those are my little sketches. But they totally made it all the way through in how they look and
Oh
feel, and
yeah.
yeah, it was amazing to kind of when I first walked in Walmart and I was like, whoa, there they are, and you just see them all their heads up there, and I know they're polarizing to the community, but for me, I just enjoyed that they were up there. Also, this back to this Cubbo packaging. This was a little bit of precursor to what we're doing sort of for Gen 3,
Yeah,
is
with the
that
splatter.
and then like a little bit of graffiti. That
Yep.
Kobo graffiti is something
Yep.
I did. They asked for this, like, hey, what would Kobo look like if he took over? Oh, he would totally throw paint on this thing. He would like add his name and stuff. And so, and then when I did the name, I was like, oh, no, nobody said anything. Nobody said like, hey, that Kobo logo looks bad. And I was like, oh,
Right.
okay, they liked it, so I just left it up there. And that led to having these cool packages here. So, all right, we're getting down to evolutions. Here's some sketches for evolution. This is where it kind of, some of the sketches came back were kind of weird, but like if you wanted to see like,
There's a
what?
flower on that one.
Well, it was this weird, looked like French fries or something, but it kind of came over. I think that for that that 5th package, I think they were looking at sort of how there's this island where these stone hexagon kind of
Oh, I get it. It's like
yeah.
not necessarily like salt pillars, but like
Yeah.
I
Hmm.
know what you mean.
Hmm. So yeah, they were trying to capture that feel with the packaging. Maybe this whole thing was like some sort of like ice thing, it encased the Bakugan in there. Um, and then also, we were also looking at ways that we could nest the packages in shipping cartons, so that way we
Hmm.
we could reduce air and reduce all that other stuff. So I think at this rate we were looking like how could we make it more efficient, right?
Right.
So I think that's what we came up with this package. This package was a little bit more efficient than other ones, but we also liked how it had an asymmetric feel rather than the other packages. Other packages felt like, oh, it's like this,
Yeah.
but this one we had it like kind of angle up, and I remember when we were creating this, there was a real competition between 2 packages that we really loved, and it was like a brawl out between the two, and this is the one that came out winning, and it was designed by one of our art directors, Gabriel. So kudos to him for helping us create that. Yeah, that Genesis collection, that thing was a hit at
Yes.
Walmart. It was huge, and when we first had this package, it was a box, and I think we were getting hammered for just the shape of it. So we're like, we
Mm-hmm.
took it back, and we're like, hey, like, what can we do to have a more interesting shape? And we're like, oh, well, let's pop out the Wraith and the other who's the other oh, it's just Dragonoid. Dragonoid up, off the sides, and have like the logos coming up, but also, you know, um, have these QR codes that you can scan and all this stuff. So I don't know, the packaging was really amazing. Great work from everyone on it, especially Jeff Ho, who's our lead art director as well on Bakugan. So he did a great job on that. And then Legends, which is like sort of that in between, greatest hits. We'll call it Bakugan greatest hits. And we didn't do any new packaging sort of structure for this, but we did a little bit more different artwork, and I got a chance to actually my Legends logo was picked to go on that
Oh, nice.
Bakugan. So yeah, whenever you look at Legends, you could say, oh yeah, I know the guy that
George
did that.
did that.
Yes, he did. And I usually never win. I always like throw my hat in the ring because I want to challenge my designers and everyone who works on Bakugan, like just to be the best. And there's always a better designer than me, and this was the one time that I went out, so it felt really good. All right, and on to the new Bakugan. I put this little quote in. My name is Dragonoid, all up in your spot with my girls and boys. When we were creating this logo, we were looking at the history of like everything, right? All the way from battle brawlers to legends, and this was kind of the roadmap that we had. So when we were creating the logos, we were having this meeting and to discuss the logo, right? And the key came up.
Oh, the key, yes.
This was like high level talks, right? And there was like, and there was some good conversations happening around this logo, right? Because we really, we saw in the roadmap, the logo's been pretty much the same all the way through, just different elements changed. So they wanted to revamp it and sort of have a new look, right? And so things were being asked, like, do we really need certain things in this logo still? And the key came up, and it was like, I think someone said, like, I bet you $1 million nobody knows what that key is. Nobody knows. And at first I was like, oh man, I could win me $1 million. Because I know, like, I'm on that Bakugan Reddit every day, and I know our fans, they are just dedicated. They love Bakugan almost to a point where it's like, okay, bro, chill out. But I know they know it. So I was like, all right, I'll go on Bakugan, I'll ask the question. I bet that I was bet that none of you knew, and for a lot of those answers came back like, hey, what are you talking about? You know something, and rightfully so. I was like, this guy coming in, like, who's this guy, right? Nobody knows who I am. But then you came on and you gave us this amazing answer, and I bet you didn't know, like, that, at that precipice there was a chance we might have not, we could have lost the key.
Yeah. I remember reading the post, and I was like, why are people so angry? Like, what's going on? And it was at the time I was going through watching Gundalian Invaders, and I think I'm pretty sure it's in the text I was talking about Gundalian Invaders, like, yeah, season 3, episode 9. And I was sitting there, I'm like, the key's literally all over the show. It's just a matter of, like, actually processing what it does, and, like, for the most part, it opens things. It opens doors. It opens gate cards. And that's what I was like. I was just like, hey, let me help this guy out and give my interpretation. And then you messaged back.
Well, I mean, I was really looking for an answer. I was like, oh, someone gonna save me, someone gonna help me, because, when the question was asked, everyone was like, oh, it's a key or it's a Bakugan rolling. There was all these answers, but
Yeah,
nobody had that definite answer. And I was like,
right.
wow, nobody has that definite answer. We might lose the key. So when you came back, I actually went back the next week when I was representing the logos, and I was like, hey, you know, this, and
Yeah.
one of our community fan members, Jesse, he said, it was opening, and so he was like, oh wow, that was great, and I was like, okay, cool, so you made it into our brand design guy. When I say, that key, it's a visual key, but it also
Hmm.
represents opening. So
Heck yeah, and
so in the look,
it's a core part of Bakugan is them opening. So I
yeah,
feel
no,
like
exactly.
it has to stay on the logo. It's a super important part.
Oh no, I definitely did too.
Yeah,
I was like, my heart was like, oh my gosh,
yeah.
like, because like things things change in branding and different things
Hmm.
like that, and usually they're at a higher level that I can't uh,
Right.
affect. So like at this moment, I felt like, oh, I feel like I could make my moment or make this thing. So kudos to you, dude, and thank you. I appreciate it.
You're
And
welcome. I
the
am
whole community. I
happy
did.
to have contributed my part to Gen 3.
All right. So also once we got the logo out of the way, is looking at the look and feel of what this was. We created a lot of mood boards for this, but one mood board everyone kept locking on was this Neon Fight Club.
Hmm.
They just loved that, like how it looked. They're like, what? It's mysterious, it's dark, but it feels gritty. It's urban. It's all this other stuff. Um, so that's kind of like the vibe that we were kind of reaching for. Like that underground battling area where you wanted to
Yeah.
duke it out. And I was thinking of the Marvel's just that fight club in Shun
It
or
was
what is his name? Shun
Shang-Chi,
Li?
and then
Shang-Chi.
I think
Mm.
there was also something in, is it She-Hulk?
Oh yes,
I
yes, and
think
Shield as
so.
well.
Yeah.
Yep. And then also in Big Hero 6,
Yep.
when he takes a little robot, like those things, I was like,
Yeah, those are cool.
I was thinking, oh, kids doing this in the new Bakugan world. This is
Hmm.
amazing to me. And then also looking at like the way battle culture,
Yes.
around Street Fighter, around battle bots or League of Legends. It's not just like one or three. It's like arena crowds. Like just that. So that's the kind of inspiration we're looking at. And then brawlers from all walks of life.
Hmm.
All different kinds of brawlers. I don't care who you are. That's what kind of unites us. Um, Looking at great moments like EVO moment 37, and the way people react to it. Just looking at all kinds of kids just wanting to be different, be
Yeah.
wanting to be cool, and just uh, you know just so yeah, just I mean that's the inspiration I wanted to take in and wanted our team to feel, and that's the vibe I wanted to kind of put forth for Bakugan. So we were kind of coming up with this new visual language, this kind of urban, also with some futurism. We were calling it cybergraph at the time,
Yep. I remember
or
you saying that.
yeah, there was not. Well, I was looking for a look and feel, but there's not a lot about it,
Hmm.
or some people like I think it's like a Spider-Man across the
Yep.
Spider-Verse. They're really good at kind of using this technique in some other places too. And I'm seeing it pop up in the new Street Fighter 6 game. They've kind of captured that element. I've been calling it cybergraph, and also. Who else? Oh, I saw a He-Man figure that had some graffiti in there. I was
Oh,
like, what is
really?
it? Yeah, I was at Comic-Con a couple of weeks ago, and I saw some other other figures
Yeah.
with graffiti, and I was like, oh wow. So kind of developing this sort of look and feel. It's trying to do something new. Being this sort of world where it's like in the virtual world, but also there's spray paint in there. Like, how does it get in there? I don't know. And like having the misfit symbol, but crossing it out. That's
Yeah.
kind of fun to me. Um, And then getting into like my old like skills of doing graffiti. I did that mural art, and it's shown up on some other pieces that you've seen.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, I've got one.
doing
It's right there
Oh,
on
nice,
the
nice.
back of
Oh,
that.
yes, I see
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
dude, that's pretty much me. Like,
Dude,
like
we'll talk about it after your presentation, man. I got a lot to say about that piece, dude. I love it, but yeah,
nice,
keep
nice.
going.
Yeah, and then a new bespoke packaging. This
Mhm.
we're trying to move away from the blister, so we're trying to reduce a lot of plastic.
Mhm.
That was like a goal for us. So that at one point we had almost no plastic because it was a closed box, but we decided it was better to
Mhm.
show the actual balls because I think kids really want to see that
Yeah, you
stuff.
gotta
So.
kind of have to see it.
And then I want to show you some early packaging concepts that we're developing. This is called Arena All Stars. This one's called Master the Maximalist.
Okay, so
There's
this is kind of getting to is it the Walmart exclusive, the Brawl Bros?
kind of,
Kinda.
but this is still kind of we're looking at what the main line could look like.
Oh,
You know,
gotcha. Okay.
but here's the thing. Usually that stuff that we throw away from the main line, or
Mhm.
not throw away, but like
Yeah,
we
or
go, hey,
reuse
we could,
later.
yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this was Enter the Bakuverse. This was the idea. Maybe we put it in the world.
Mhm.
This was Post No Brawls, a little bit more graffiti look. This is called the Bakugan Zone. So trying to maybe create this sort of packaging where it feels like you're in it or something.
Yeah.
This is called Neon Elite.
I kind of like that. I like the neon on the corners.
Yeah. Well,
Huh.
that's because that's the one that got picked. So.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no, every
It looks
everybody.
different when it's down
It,
there like that.
oh yeah, no. When and Tack is
Yeah.
the guy who created this. When he created it, he had a very minimalist, and I think we loved the minimalist look, but we knew
Yeah.
we couldn't get away. We couldn't get away with it. Um, for the age range, they had to have certain things
Mhm.
and stuff like that. But we really wanted to take that look and try to keep as much of it in as possible, and that's where we had this.
Yeah.
But at one point though, I think we like when we didn't have to show the actual balls, like we had the graphics on there a little laid
Yeah.
out a little bit different. But afterwards we were asked to like, hey, let's go ahead and show the Bakugan. So we kind of rearranged some things, and this was like the best way
Yeah.
to move forward.
No, it looks good. I remember seeing like leaks of the packaging without the plastic, and
Hmm.
everyone was like, where does where's the Bakugan? You just open it, and it's in there. And then I remember getting my like when I finally got my hands on these. I remember I was like, especially just like the regular packs. They're pretty small. Like
Mhm.
they're not
Mhm.
big, and like now it makes sense. Like you're trying to reduce space and stuff, which is it's perfect, honestly. Like even
Yeah.
the way you guys have the cards tucked in the back, it's like it's really efficient.
Yeah, having a lot of those, I mean, those packages that look amazing with the blisters, they
Hmm.
look great, but in the end run, we're just like taking all that plastic and just chucking
Yeah.
it, right? So a lot of times we try to have that plastic as something reusable, and
Right.
maybe if it's some sort of gameplay thing or not, but it takes some time to develop ideas like that too.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
there's
here's more
more.
of the line, and then like you said, sometimes we take some of
Ah,
those
yes.
those things
I
and then
I got my
we
hands on some of the Street Brawl stuff.
oh, you did.
It's phenomenal. The art to that, the design on the Bakugans is probably the best thing I've seen in a
uh
long time for a
so
toy.
yeah, so props out to our one of our designers, Red. He's Red, and he totally, like, we linked up during when we were kind of creating Bakugan, and
Hmm.
he had created some graffiti elements to some of the icons and different things that went onto the Bakugan.
Mm.
I was like, hey, who did these? These look great. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, he's like, I did. And I was like, oh, cool. He was one of our new designers. And I was like, you got some graffiti background? And he's like, and he just winked at me, and I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. No, I literally, it was like last week, and they're at Target, and I got the Nilius because I just think Nilius is cool. And I was like, I kept looking at, like, I got the toy out. And another thing I like about this packaging is you can just pop the bottom and pull them out. And then when you're done messing with them, you can put them back in the packaging and slide them back in. And it's like
Mhm.
they were never open. I love that. They just be able to display them like that. But I just kept looking at it, and I was like, this is so good. Because it looked, the whole graffiti aesthetic is so cool.
Yeah. No, I totally grew up in that world when I was a kid.
Mhm.
I wasn't able to actual spray paint, but like
Right.
actual drawing on paper and the characters and all that stuff. That was my jam back in the day.
Yeah.
So just to take those elements and bring them to life here. So I heard someone describing it as like, oh, they got some Kill Bill style graphics,
Ooh, yeah, okay.
And I was like, it's not nearly blood, but but when I was reimagining, sort of like like the look at the brand and feel is one thing, but the actual anime, I wish I could be more involved in
Right.
that.
Yeah,
'Cause I
I
would.
haven't dipped my toes in that yet. I know it got like there's like 2 episodes on Roblox or something I wasn't able to catch, but once it comes out on Netflix, I'm gonna watch it. So
Yeah, no,
we'll see.
I would love to do like something where like
Yeah,
if they're getting hit, like instead of blood, it's like spray paint or
yeah,
something,
that'd be so cool. Like it's
And
sort of like Into the Spider-Verse, how they get hit, and it's like the comic style, like Bam.
yes,
You could do that, but
yep,
spray
exactly,
paint. Yeah, that'd be really cool
yep.
to incorporate.
hmm Yeah, because I think there's a new show, Zom 100 or something.
I saw something on that last night. I haven't watched it yet, but
Mhm.
it's like one of the new anime out, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I saw something at Comic-Con, and my daughter was telling me, she's like, you
Mhm.
need to watch this, right? And I was like, oh, and then I was like, it was like zombie show, but they're showing, instead of blood, they're showing spray paint, right? So it was like
Ooh.
I was like, or instead of the blade, it looked like different colors, So
Mhm.
I was like, oh, it was like that could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that is the official end of my actual presentation. I don't know if you have any other questions that
Um.
yeah.
So I guess let's get this one out of the way because this one is, I think, a lot of people want to know. Does Generation 3 have an official name?
Yeah, and I think I've kind of hinted at
Yeah.
in some of my presentation. It doesn't have an official. It's not like it
Mhm.
doesn't have a battle planet. It doesn't have a armored alliance or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's funny, when we were developing that, I kept asking, do we have do we have another name or some sort, because
Yeah, like a
in my
code
head.
name or anything.
Well, in my head, I was like, okay, so where is it going to go on the
Right.
logo, So I'm like trying to kind of deal with that, and then they were like, no, we're not going to do it, and I was like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
that's easier for me, harder for fans, but easier for me.
Right. Yeah, because everyone, especially like when like we first got our hold of the logo, everyone's like, what's the other name for it? It's Bakugan what? Because I guess that's been a theme for so long. Because it's always
It
been like
has.
Bakugan Battle Brawlers, Bakugan Battle Planet, all that. And I don't mind it. I think we're all curious as to what the name, if
You
there
know,
was one, would have been.
and this is my opinion. This is not like, oh, this is something Bakugan,
Hmm.
or I'm thinking, maybe it's just a hard reset,
Yeah,
and then like maybe the
100%.
second one is they'll have another title or something like
Right.
that.
Because when it comes down to it, Bakugan is Bakugan. It doesn't necessarily need, like, yes, the subtitles kind of categorize the seasons, but in the end, it's still just Bakugan.
Correct.
Perfect.
When although I will say, when we were developing, I thought maybe it was going to be Revolutions.
Hmm.
In my head, I kept floating that around, and I think it was just too. I don't think they were able to get that name cleared,
Right.
or else it would have. And that's just pure speculation, because
Yeah.
for me, I felt like, Oh, it's the perfect name for it's spinning.
Yeah, they're
It's a
spinning.
revolution.
Yeah.
There's a revolution. There's all these like entendres that could happen, but no one confirmed it, that was the name, or even that it was being tested or something like that. So
Hmm.
I don't want to tell our fans like
Right.
that's what but in my head and even in my presentations, I was even like, Bakugan I would type it out, but then I would delete it because I didn't want to get in trouble.
That's funny. Okay. Next question. Is there anything, I know you kind of said this on here, but like what are some of the like new and exciting things we can expect in Gen 3? Like we've got the spinning feature and the different parts. Can you elaborate on any of that?
Well, yeah, the like the flywheels,
Mm-hmm.
and so, yeah, I think they're gonna have like special flywheels. I think that are really cool
Yeah.
as far as collectability goes.
Yeah.
Even I think like some cool designs on them. So that's something to kind of look out for. Um, I know that with the new arena, they
Mm-hmm.
have these kind of like add-on parts to that
Yeah.
arena that's really cool. And when you add it on, it gets really chunky. It gets really
Yeah.
big and chunky. And they're developing different different trainers. They call them the trainer sets,
Yeah.
and those trainer sets could go in there. So they're definitely that is something that's kind of new for Bakugan is
Mm-hmm.
those sets. Um, and I believe they'll Walmart and Target will have exclusives to those sets, so
Yeah.
you
Cool.
definitely check out
So visit
your
both
arena.
stores for them.
Yeah, all the time
I
as
gotcha.
As Baku hunters should.
Yeah, that's what we all have to do.
Because I know what you guys do. You flip till you get to the gold, and then you take.
Yeah.
You know
Okay.
that is definitely something that we definitely have in mind when we're creating. Well,
Mm-hmm.
something I had in mind because like I listen to our Reddit fans. I'm a big Reddit guy, so
Yeah.
when I'm in there, like I drop in there and I'll just see and people talk about like how they go Baku hunting and I was like when we're designing packages, I'm like how can we make it easier for our fans to and
Mm-hmm.
our Baku hunters to find what they want,
Yeah,
uh,
it's
so
it's a lot of fun. There are days I might not have anything to do. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll go hit up the Targets and WalMarts around here. So I do.
yeah, so yeah, no, we definitely take into account on making
Mm-hmm.
trying to make those those rares rare so you see them and yeah, we want to make that hunt like you get that dopamine when
Oh
you
yeah.
find it. Mhm.
All right. Next question. Um, who is your favorite Bakugan and why?
Oh well, I think I said
You did.
drag I did. It's got to be Dragonoid.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for him just in all his iterations. But I think that jumping one that from Battle Planet that first gen jumping one that
Oh,
was my favorite.
the Sky Raiders.
No, not the sky.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no. The
Oh,
Gen
from
2,
Battle
the rebirth.
Planet.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
No,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
Battle Planet. Yeah, the
Yeah.
one that it jumps.
Gotcha.
That was my favorite, and I have the prototype for that one too. So
Hmm.
yeah, I heard you was given a prototype by someone that
Yes, I was given a prototype. It's right here. I got it.
you
It's
know
right
what?
here.
Oh wow, yeah. No, I think that one came straight from Yoshi or Toshi. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah, I
don't
leave
know,
him up
man.
there. I look at him
There-
all the
there-
time.
yeah, no, him, and then I think I wrote in that thing. I the Iron Man,
Yes.
Bakugan.
Iron Man's that one's really cool. The
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
Marvel line was an interesting gimmick. I thought it was really neat.
I'd love to. I'd love to see us do some more licensed things like that.
Mm,
But yeah, I think we're doing license as when we're at the super height of Bakugan when it was
right.
like like Pog level excitement. But hopefully we get there again. I know that it took us a while to get back to
Hmm.
being the number one toy battling brand, but hopefully with this new, it's like we get there and then like we totally flip the script on this Gen 3. So hopefully that takes us to another level.
100%. All right. What is your favorite attribute or faction or clan?
Uh, Yeah, no, I think darkest. I love darkest. I love like that black and purple combination, or just
Yeah.
the black, sort of dark, and the dark energy. That whole dark, the whole dark energy thing to me is like one of the coolest things in sci-fi. Um, like especially when Voldemort is shooting out his dark energy or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Like I always think like that's what Nilius is dropping on fools when he's shooting out dark energy. But like I like that combination of that. Like I like the colors, like they just look great, and especially like when Dragonoid is in the darkest color. Like oh
Mhm.
man, like I was like oh like when Pegatrix is in the
Yeah,
darkest.
the
I'm like
darkest.
wow,
Yeah.
it's just amazing. So I know you wanted to talk about exclusive. Um, we could even do a whole like a separate discussion on that because
Yeah.
all those exclusives were pretty much designed by me
Mhm.
and stuff, and there's a story for each of them. But yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, that
We'll have to do
floating
that.
Bakugan that I sent you,
Ah,
like
yes. It's right up there too. Next, actually, it's
y-
next to the prototype.
yeah, that thing was amazing. That thing all happened during the pandemic.
Hmm.
So like I was never able to see an actual sample of the package or any of that stuff.
Really?
So when because it was during the pandemic, everything had to be done either by pictures or 3D. Like we had gotten some new software to kind of
Hmm.
uh, show packages in 3D and display them. So we're able to kind of look at visualize the packaging and visualize the Bakugan in it and never ever have to talk to or see anybody. So
Huh.
that was really cool. Um, maybe one interesting thing is I'm based out of Little Rock, Arkansas.
Hmm.
I've been living here for like the last 5 years, ever since the start of Bakugan. So um, just let people know that you don't need to be in LA or New York to be a
Right.
dope designer. Although I did come from there, so I'll
Hmm.
give them that. But I'm out here, in the middle of nowhere, doing Bakugan. So
Doing
it's
Bakugan.
yeah, it's funny. Some people will come to my house, and the kids will come, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys want some Bakugan?" And they give them some Bakugan, and we're like, "Who is this guy?"
All right. Last kind of question because I know I said I'd keep this around an hour, but I got my hands, and we can. This is more of like a tease if you want to do another video on it, talking about some of these packages and limited edition stuff. I managed, was very lucky, and got my hands on one of these guys. Okay, I opened it up yesterday, and like I was messing with it for hours. Anyway, so I put it back in the packaging and stuff, right? Obviously, this is your work, right?
Yes.
Obviously, this was. I didn't even like. I obviously I knew this was here, like this part of the package, because like that's what they showed in the videos and stuff for marketing. But I was never told that this was here. So when I opened it up, I was like, "This is the coolest thing I've ever seen." Um, I don't know if you guys do wallpapers or anything. This needs to be a desktop wallpaper, 100%.
Oh, you know what?
Uh,
I'll make you a desktop wallpaper and
please,
send that to
because I want
you.
it to be my wallpaper so bad. Um, but it's just this is like in terms of limited edition, this thing's incredible. Like the design to it is like you say, it's that kind of old school graffiti style, but also kind of new. Like you nailed it on the head. Like I thought the Street Brawler packaging was amazing. Like this is taking it to a next step. And I know it's a limited edition, so like obviously it's got to look good. But I mean, it's next level. And so I just want to know, like, what hand did you have in that?
Oh, pretty much everything,
Yeah.
except well, it's a collaborative effort
Mm-hmm.
between me and an engineer, structural engineer. His name was Ryan. So
Mm-hmm.
he came up with that box that kind of hinges
Yeah.
together, and then then they asked me like, hey, can you paint a pretty picture on top of it,
Uh huh.
and so I was like, yeah. And so I think how did I start on there? I knew that we are gonna have a space where the package was open, so I knew we were gonna have this large sort of blank board area. So I said, all right, maybe I should do a graffiti piece, a really big Bakugan in there.
Yeah.
And so I started sketching that out, and then got that part right, and I was like, oh, let's take all the character art and put it in the back, like like a big, so it looks like a mural. And then so I had the mural part, and I was like, okay, I got the back. Now let's work on the front, or the inside, right, where Ventry was. And I was like, okay, maybe we should have Ventry kind of coming in, like a graphic of him, but like show the pack out of the ball, show like the flywheel, and then show all the insides. And then we had a blister, and the blister was black or white. I forgot but it looked okay. And I was like, I want more of a bronze color. And so the guy gave us a bronze color, and then he came back and was like, do you want a gold color? And I was like, yeah, can you give me a gold? Because I didn't see it in the spec'd out. And he was like, yeah. And so he gave me a gold color, and it came out cool. And he was like, you know what? I could even get it more gold. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, at this point, like I had already kind of given it to him, but it feels like other people were like, hey, I think I can make this better. It was almost like, hey, this looks good, like really good. Like, let's make this better. It was like, I was like, wow, like, because like I at one point I was just like, okay, I got it the best I could get it, and it just felt like other people were carrying it on their shoulders. Like, let me take Frodo, and they were carrying him up the mountain and stuff. I was like, yes, you do it. I'm tired. So yeah, no, that was great. I look at that box too, and I'm like, wow, we did a good job on that. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to more stuff like that. So awesome.
Yeah, no, I can't wait to give it to you guys. So
I'm pumped. So we hit that hour mark. I said I'd keep you for an hour. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I mean, keep helping and serving the community.
Will do.
Like you have, and then help out a poor guy like me whenever I need the help.
For sure, man.
I just want to send a shout out to my whole Bakugan team, from the planners to the product designers to QA and everyone. Thank you so much. Me and Jeff and the brand design team, we couldn't do this without you. So thank you to all you, and to the support of our executives, and all the stuff that I say. And then to all the
amazing work.
Thank you. And then all the fans, keep loving us, keep hating us, keep doing everything that you guys do. It just keeps Bakugan going, and it keeps us, even when you criticize, like I look at that stuff and I'm like, okay, how could we do better? Or, what can we do to affect it and sort of answer those calls? So thank you to the community, and thank you to everyone.
Thank you guys. So that is the end of the interview. I want to thank George again for coming to the channel and just giving all his great wisdom and information. It was a fantastic interview. I enjoyed it so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment, and of course subscribe for more awesome content. And yeah, maybe we'll see George more in the future.